And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
If there's one thing I really enjoy, it's amusement parks, and I love the idea of an amusement park being made into a game. Unfortunately, it's something that we've seen in very few games, which astounds me because I assume that doing anything with an amusement park is better than trading silk and spices, but what do I know? We have Alan's Adventureland. Now, Alan's Adventureland, it's an interesting, I'm like, who's Alan? Alan's the designer of the game, Alan Adventureland. Not one of the most famous designers, so it's just kind of an odd name, Alan's Adventureland, but what have you. It's about building an amusement park. However, when I was going through the rule book here, the rule book at the end says, thanks to many players, blah, blah. A special thanks goes to these players for getting the system started as castles. And then some other people knew the game as City Planner. And Morgan for the amusement park theme that made the system work best. Yes, this game is not going to have a strong theme since it started as a castle and a city. This is essentially a game where you're placing tiles on the board and trying to score points as to how you do so. Now, just because the theme isn't strong doesn't mean it's a bad game. Let's find out. Each player is going to get their own amusement park at the beginning of the game. We got Animal Kingdom, Tour America, Sky World. There's a scoreboard where players will keep track with tokens. Their score, having the most score is what's going to win you the game. Very bright and cheerful scoreboard. Each of these here is going to give you bonuses if you cover up different color squares. You can also play a variant where you start with a blank one. Players will have bonus cards, and they basically have to have these shapes on their board at the end of a round. But what players are going to do is players are going to get a handful of cards. These are ride cards, and they're going to match different rides. Rides have different names. They also have different types. Like you can see, the yellow ones are roller coasters. We have Blast Off and Corkscrew. All rides of the same type score the same way. Players are going to get to build one of these rides at the beginning of the game. And when you build a ride, so for example, let's say I build this Killer Whales ride. You'll see that it's 2 points, 6 points, and 12 points. That means the first time I put that tile out, and I can put it out anywhere I want, it's going to be worth 2 points. If I upgrade it at any point in the game, we'll go up to 6 points, and then eventually 12 points. And so the more tiles that you have, the more points you're going to get, and some of the rides will upgrade better. So you can see, for example, this Blast Off roller coaster is a 0, 4, 10, and goes all the way up to 20, while Inertia starts at 1, 5, 11. Some will start better than others, and there's all sorts of rides in this game. So every player is going to start with 2 of these rides, and some of them are not even rides, they're foods, like Pig Out, and the very wonderfully named Ralph's. So you're going to have these different rides that you'll be placing, and you'll start with 2, and then each round of the game, each player gets to be start player once. Players are going to draw some cards and place them out, and players are going to draft these cards in their hands, one at a time, grabbing them. Last person takes 2, then you go back to the beginning, and everyone will have 2 new cards. Then each player is going to play a card between them and another player. You'll have a card, this is between me and the player to my left, Susan, and this is between me and the player to my right, Sally. Then each player is going to place out a ride. You do that by having the matching card from your hand. However, that type has to match one of these 2. Those are permissions. I have the permission to build a family ride because this is here, so I can play a flipper. I have permission to do a water ride, so I could play Killer Whales, for example. If I wanted to put out quick fries, though, I don't have either one, so I would have to pay a penalty of points to be able to play a ride that I do not have permission to. But you can play anything you want. Once all players have been the first player once, there will be rides out on the table. Each player then has a bonus round. They can play one of any color of any type of their choice. They don't need to worry about these permission. By the way, these go away every round, and you put out 2 more new ones. After everyone has done that, you will then score. You score the top tile in each ride. And also, if you have all of the color bonuses covered, so for example, you can see here that if you have all the blues covered, you get 4 bonus points, all blues and yellows 8, all 3 colors 14 points. You'll score for those. After 3 rounds of play, there's an extra scoring that will be done, and you'll look in each row and each column, and you'll see how many tiles you have across. So if I have 5 tiles across here, I'll get an extra 11 points. If I have 4 tiles down in each row, I get 8. If I have 4 tiles down in the same row, and there's 2 in each row, I would score this bonus twice. So you're going to get extra points for rows and columns, whether you cover these up, and the top tile on each. Whoever has the most points is the winner. Now I think that Alan's Adventureland could be better, but the game itself is a fine game. I really like these wooden pieces with the stickers on them. Yes, you got to sticker it, but they look good. The whole thing has like fun amusement park feel. Like I said, I like the scoring track, except I don't like this whole snake thing. Snakes are bad for scoring tracks, people. The cards look good. It has a fun amusement park theme overlaid on what is basically just put tiles out on the board and score points. This game also suffers from the fact that there are other games out there that are doing the same thing right now, notably the very popular and very good Quadropolis, which, if you compare them back to back, Quadropolis smokes this game away. That doesn't mean it's a bad game, though. Alan's Adventureland is a fine game about putting tiles out there. Again, and I don't mean to keep picking at it, but the board is probably a little too big. The 5x5 is just, I think a little bit more constricted board might have helped. It's really, if you play the basic version, you are kind of dictated where to put your pieces. You definitely want to put them on top of the bonuses because that's a lot of points to score at the end of the game. Playing with the bonus cards is a little bit better because you're going to use those to score different shapes, and then that also helps you get the columns and rows and get the more points. It's also probably a little too much as you're playing those permission cards between you. It's, okay, everyone, draft a card, draft a card. Okay, now play a permission card. Everyone played a permission card. Great. Now everyone play a card. Great. We put 1 tile on the board. That's a lot of work for 1 tile. So you do that over and over and over again, and that could get a little tiring. Now, I know it sounds like I'm saying negative things about the game. I'm not. I'm just showing why the game is merely good for me when I think it could have been great had it been more streamlined and faster. The game itself is fine. I like the idea of building the rides, and I'm going to build the roller coasters because they give me way more points, but they also take up a lot more work. Or I'm going to try to get a row here or a column here or cover the bonuses here or make this shape here. I noticed that Billy Bob is not playing a lot of water rides, so that means water rides are more available to me. And Anne is doing a lot of roller coasters, so maybe she's going to hog those tiles or those cards. And so there's some back and forth, not a ton of interaction, but you could even play a permission card between players because you already have the permission of the tile you're going to play, so I'm going to play this one between someone else and hope it's not the one that they are trying to do. This game is not deep. It looks deeper than it is. It's fairly light and easygoing, but I think the theme, I give it way plus points for the theme. Placing tiles out and getting points is something I enjoy, so I like that also. I think it could have been much better, but the components are good. The artwork and theme are nice. It's easy to explain and play, so there's good, more good than bad. That's Alan's Adventureland. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.